Hundreds of striking mine workers had gathered on a hill in Marikana, armed with knobkerries, spears, and police say guns as well. When the police moved in to disperse the strikers, you can hear tear gas shots, and after this, a volley of gunfire. They were the shots that reverberated across the world. 34 striking miners in Marikana who lost their lives when police opened fire on them on August 16, 2012. With events reminiscent of the Sharpeville massacre in 1960, it was a day that will live in infamy, of these men who wanted to fight for a better life, and those police officers and security guards who died in the days preceding while trying to maintain order. If there is one symbol of the struggle that we will remember, it is the man in the green blanket, who lit a fire for change in the hearts of people everywhere. Sadly, he lost his life on this day, and his sister remembers him.
A very, very sad day indeed. And this morning on the line we have Mr. Polokotau from the Star newspaper, who has covered the Marikana massacre extensively, just to bring us a bit into the light about what the situation is right now, especially with the commemorations taking place today. Mr. Tau, good morning and thank you for taking our call.
Morning, Dr. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Let's talk a bit about, a year onwards. Where are we right now in terms of Marikana? I know that you have covered the massacre extensively. You've worked on the happenings there. Where are we a year later right now?
I mean, on the minus side, I must say the struggle continues, in that the fight is still on for, better wages and improved working conditions and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, on their side, I mean, the struggle continues. And on the families, on the side of the families of those families who lost their loved ones, I mean, they're still waiting for those answers. I mean, the commission, the proceedings have been moving at a snail's pace, So, I mean, nothing much has changed.
And what is the result of that? I mean, when you look at the situation, the tension between mine workers, families, authorities around the area, as a result of the Commission of Inquiry going at snail's pace, as you say, what is the tension like, or the mood like between them?
You mean between the families and
Yes,
yes. Look, man, the tension really, I'd say, is still on the ground, but mainly it's more mainly, I mean, union rivalry. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've had, I must say, around 8 or so deaths this year only, where union shop stewards were murdered in cold blood, daylight. I mean, that would be the main concern, and something that really led to the intervention by the Deputy President. I mean, that would be, the main concern.
Yes. Now, reports said yesterday that Police Commissioner Ria Piega urged all attendees of the commemorations today to adhere to rules and regulations of how things will be conducted today. Do you think there's a possibility of anything happening? Is there a possibility of violence even occurring at this event today?
I am not foreseeing any. I mean, there was a press briefing earlier, a media briefing earlier during the week in Joburg, where, miners made it clear to the public that they own the event, mm-hmm. and they have chosen certain people to organize it on their behalf. That includes AMCU president, their lawyer, Dalim Bofu, and Bishop Josoka, who, I mean, those are people who have really been supportive to them from the early days of the strike. Yeah. So, I mean, and when you look at it now, I mean, the ANC have made it clear, and AMCU rival, the NUM, they've made it clear that they won't be attending because they don't feel that today's commemoration event will be inclusive enough. You know, they feel that it has been hijacked. They are, I mean, the NUM saying they were hoping for the event to be organized by a neutral person being the Deputy President's office so that it can be inclusive, you know.
Yeah. Now, just quickly before we go, just tell us about the man in the green blanket. Okay, he was the leader of the protester and I think an inspiration to a great many people, hence he was able to marshal them to move. The man in the green blanket.
The man in the green blanket, is one of the guys I met, you know, from the first moment we approached the strikers at the copy.
Yes.
He was a leader, you know, he was a commander of some sort, you know, and, you know, so much has emerged, you know, in the commission. He had been portrayed in the commission, you know, more as a leader of the strike, but someone who was, you know, what they call it, someone who was aggressive, you know, ready to fight, ready to kill and all that, you know. But for the miners, he has become some kind of a hero,
yes,
you know, and I mean, for most of us, he's the face of Marikana now.
Well, Mr. Dow, thank you very much for taking our call this morning. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks, and that.
Yeah. Now, today we mourn both the mine workers and the police officers who lost their lives, but nothing changes the fact that families of victims have lost a caregiver, a father, a husband and a son. And to you, we offer our sincerest condolences. Stay with us.